Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome to the Property and Investor Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Lanfear. As you know, nothing in the podcast, health advice, legal advice, or any of that business. But actually, this is part of a mini series of podcasts, which is a little bit different. So these podcasts are called the All Star Podcasts, and they are podcasts with some fabulous human beings that I've had the very great privilege of working with during the course of this year as part of my inner circle. And I'm thrilled to invite Barbara on the podcast. Barbara, how are you doing?
Yeah, fine. Thank you very much for inviting me to your podcast.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure, Barbara. So, tell people, who you are and what your business is so they can get a bit of a feel for who you are.
Okay, so my name is Lazcano and my business Oga Property, and I offer financial management for property managers and landlords.
Very good. Perfect. So, tell us a little bit about where you were when you joined the program and what some of the challenges and issues that you were dealing with at the start.
Yeah. So, well, at the end of last year, I had a completely lack of clarity uh, to where go from then onwards. And I have had some bad experiences in property. I started a rent-to-rent business which was not successful, and also I had been negotiating for months a PLO which didn't come together. So I wanted to keep being in property because I really like it, and I didn't want to go back to work for others. So I need to find, well, as you always say, my direction of travel. And then it's when I listened to you in a networking, and I didn't find you because I knew it from before. But you talk about the inner circle, and I thought, yeah, I think this is a sign I have to join it.
And how did the program help? What kind of insights did you get during the course of the year? And then bring us up to speed. Like, how are things now? What progress have you seen?
Well, so many fantastic things where I start. So yeah, well, since our first one-to-one call, I had different options, and yeah, and from that only call, I came out with knowing what I was going to do. So as we discussed, there is a need within property managers and landlords of a reasonable size of portfolio. So in terms of knowing their numbers, having like monthly financial reports of how the business is doing, the portfolio, even every property, every rental unit. So I came with a plan for the year, and then we had to present our business and personal plan of the year to the group, which was very motivating, no? And all the accountability that the group offers, the quarterly presentations, the weekly goals and wins that we shared in the WhatsApp group, and everything helped to grow and to progress a lot. And also the works in nature, getting to know each other more in a relaxed environment, and the golden nuggets you offer from time to time. For example, well, some of them really changed my life, like the wealth dynamics profile, and well, understand why people behaves differently, and which depending on your wealth dynamics profile, which is the best one, the best profile to work with. And another one that I remember very, very well, it's the how to organize the week now and how to work in flow, which that helped me a lot to work more efficiently. And your mantra, no, like that design has helped me to set the foundations of my business since the beginning, following that mantra, because yeah, my goal is to be able to work and live between the UK and Spain. So yeah, and well, and finally the people, of course, no? How magically you put together such well, great human beings with different backgrounds, profiles, experiences. That's well, everybody added so much to the group and encouraged and support each other. Well, it was magical. Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, naturally, that's all music to my ears. Let's be completely honest. Not least of which, the fact that it is a remarkable group of human beings, and it is a really remarkable group. How over the course of the year, even though we're all so different, that everybody
Yeah.
kind of helps everybody else. It's
Mm.
designed to, and obviously in this case has been enormously supportive. So I'm definitely thrilled to hear all of that. It's great to hear about the wealth dynamics. It's great to hear about the fact that the kind of finding flow stuff really landed with you, and I can see it has. And I don't think there's anybody who's embraced more the mantra of like life by design. I mean, you and your husband are doing extraordinary things, and you're well on your way to having this life of living beautiful Spain and also having, the wonderful life here in the UK as well. It's absolutely phenomenal. And look, you've made like enormous progress. They like can't be any doubt about that. I mean, I recently had the pleasure of speaking to one of your clients who, and I quote, said that you're the numbers ninja, and he gave like a really glowing review and honest review because he's a very honest guy. He was 100% positive about the experience. So absolute credit to you. So, Barbara, what does the future look like for you?
Oh, so appealing. So from all the foundations, that I have set this year, and now I have a plan for 2025. So yeah, my priorities are obviously growing my business, gaining more clients,
Mhm.
systemizing as much as I can. And yeah, so I'm going to, well, I have already started being more active in social media, and I want to speak in public in events next year, so which is something that I would have never thought that I will do that. But yeah, yeah, I'm willing to be more visible, no, because I think that what I do in my business, it's very needed service in the property sector, and there are not many people that offer that. No, so yeah, I mean, no, I think knowing your numbers it's crucial. No, so yeah, and also on the personal side, I haven't talked so much about the personal area, but also the group has helped me a lot. For example, I remember one thing that you said: revisit your hobbies, which is something that we might forget if we are so focused in our business and we are so passionate about what we do that we forget to look after ourselves and do things that we love. So yeah, I have started doing gardening this year a lot, and I rediscover paddle, which is a Spanish sport that I used to play when I lived in Spain and where I'm before having my daughter, like 12 years ago at least. So yeah, all good things for next year. And also thanks to the group and well, all the networking that I do, I have built up profound relationships in property. So yeah, it's something that I will keep next year. And also with all the cash and the knowledge from my property, also I want to start investing in property.
Very good, excellent. And so if somebody was like contemplating, I mean, you've done the whole lot. I mean, you've been to the breakfast meetings, you've obviously listened
Yeah.
to the podcast, you've even been on the adventure retreat this summer, and you've done Inner Circle. I suppose, what your thoughts on that collection of things, and then I suppose most specifically, if somebody was thinking about exploring Inner Circle and learning a bit more about it, like what would you say to them?
Yeah, well, don't doubt to join the inner circle. It's going to be such a transformative, a very fabulous year. So yeah, well, everything that we have done in the inner circle, everything that you deliver, it's wonderful, and it helps people, no, to live the life as they want and to progress in all areas, and you have the support of all the group, and not only in the inner circle, the breakfast, no, your breakfasts are great, the adventure treats, no, you gather a bunch of people which are incredible. So don't doubt it.
Thank you very much for that. So the thing you do is really extraordinary. I mean, knowing your numbers is, I think, a really useful strapline. And I would say, and we've obviously discussed this at length during the course of the year, I think one of the biggest things that Liz and I implemented to make the progress that we have is like really good financial reporting and really understanding our numbers, and that, I would be honest enough to say, didn't necessarily come naturally to me as well. So I've had to learn it, and I've also had to get help and support with it. I think what you offer is absolutely vital. And I go so far as to say that every single person in business, in property, in entrepreneurship, or, even if they don't consider themselves any of that, they're a freelancer or whatever it is, should have somebody, specifically Barbara, in their corner to help them understand the numbers on an ongoing basis. I think too many people, they only kind of begin to look at their numbers, when it's tax return season, and sometimes
Yes.
they don't they get a bit of a shock, and they don't like exactly. But by then it's far too late. That's like trying to drive your car and looking in the rear view mirror. So I would urge absolutely everybody to reach out to Barbara and see how she can help you. And I think the earlier that you do it in your life cycle as a business, the easier it is to implement. The longer you leave it, the more difficult it will be. So it's been an absolute pleasure working with you this year, Barbara. Thanks for coming on the podcast. I'm going to put a link to your LinkedIn profile below. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's been a pleasure as always.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Paul.
And there you have it. That's Barbara. Please do feel free to reach out to her via LinkedIn. I'll put the link below. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you want to learn more about Inner Circle, please join me at the next breakfast. I'll put a link below. It will be fantastic to see you there. Look forward to seeing you. Take care. Speak soon. Look after yourself.